Hello everyone. In the last video, I showed you how I filmed the scene of the mouse coming outside to check the mail and then noticing a poster for an art show. I've been busy since then working on the interior scene of the mouse at the easel, and I'll tell you about that now. After seeing the poster, the mouse goes inside to finish a painting, so I'll need to make a background that makes us feel like we're in the mouse's home. I'll sketch it roughly on camera first to get a sense of how much area I need to cover. It doesn't really need to be that big. I imagine the mouse would paint by a window for natural light. This is what we've seen of the outside of the house, so I'll want the shape of a window on the inside to match the shape of a window on the outside. I think the mouse would have natural wood walls, so I use these paint stir sticks. I cut them lengthwise so I could vary the size of the planks on the wall. I'll use this cardboard as a base and glue the wood planks to it. I'll need smaller pieces for the window frame. I thought I would try using tea to put a light stain on them. That actually worked really well. I had cut them to the right size beforehand, so once they were dry, I could glue them in place. Now, to make it look like real glass in the window, I took this piece of plastic from some food packaging and taped it on the back. And now it will reflect some light like a real glass window. And it also provides a structure onto which I can glue the mullions of the window. I noticed some light was shining through in spaces where it wouldn't on a real window, so I taped black paper on the back to cover any gaps. Because the window is so small, the fabric for the curtains didn't fall into the right shape naturally, so I threaded wire through the top and bottom, and then formed them into the shape I wanted. And I stitched them to the curtain rod with a bit of thread. I used the same ocean background that I already had and lit it from above. Now when I zoom in close, we can pretend we're inside the mouse's home, looking out the window at the ocean. The mouse will need a paintbrush, so I made a handle and cut some bristles off a real paintbrush and glued them on. I used a strip of aluminum foil for the brush's ferrule. Then I trimmed the bristles to the right shape and size. Now you may remember from the first video that the mouse puppet's hands are interchangeable. So I made a new hand for the mouse and glued the paintbrush to it. And I glued a piece of aluminum wire at the wrist. Then I could run that wire through the cylinder that makes the mouse puppet's forearm and control the paintbrush hand from behind. I can use my other hand to move the puppet's head. I put a little bit of real paint on the mouse's palette, and now I can make the mouse puppet move the paintbrush between the palette and the canvas. I also wanted to film from another angle, so I made another hand, attached it to another paintbrush handle, but instead of putting bristles on the end, I attached that handle to a controller rod. And that will be hidden by the mouse's painting. But I also wanted to film from an angle where we could see more of the mouse's face, and that meant I needed more background for what we would see behind the mouse from that angle. So I thought about the things that the mouse might have in the art studio, like pencils in a jar, an assortment of paintbrushes, some shelves to put them on, and sketches on the wall. It doesn't really need to be that detailed because it's out of focus in the background. But it was all fun to make, and it gives us a sense of where the mouse lives and where the mouse makes art. And from this angle, we can see how the mouse feels about the painting. Now that I've finished the scene of the mouse at the easel, I can go on to work on what the mouse is painting and some of the other paintings for the gallery scene, and I'll tell you about that in the next video.